Scott Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Hope you had a great Labor Day weekend. Great to have you with us. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Keith, obviously you had a few extra things to eat over the weekend.
Oh, it was a long weekend.
Yeah, it was. It's true.
A long weekend.
That's true. It was 3 full days. Yeah. So.
Good to see you.
Good to see you,
good
too.
Good to see you.
Obviously, Jeffy filling in for Keith this week.
You.
Who's on vacation again. This guy's got more time off than Johnny Carson. How'd that happen?
I don't know. I'm really disappointed about it, too.
You sounded.
Yeah,
you really sounded. So, last night, what a night. BYU Navy football game, Labor Day audience. Cougars went into the game a 1.5-point favorite.
Well, they covered that.
I think they covered the spread.
They covered that.
They covered the spread. Barely. 55-3 victory over Navy.
Decisive?
Yes. Decisive, dominating.
Statement win?
Yes.
College football is back.
College football is back. There's going to be some P5. I don't think any P5s were in action over the weekend, but they will be this coming weekend, including Clemson, number 1 ranked team in the country. They're going to play Wake Forest. But, man, did they dominate. Everybody was picking against him, and I'm like, I don't know what you guys don't understand about this. There's no way BYU is losing to Navy. And the 55-3 score, I think, kind of settled that.
I will say Navy has looked better in the past.
Yes, they have. Yeah, against other opponents.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. But not against the Cougars.
No, well, they didn't practice much. They didn't hit much.
Yeah, the excuses were coming on fast and furious for a while. Well, they didn't do any physical contact. They were actually taking people to the ground. Yeah, that doesn't account for a 52-point loss, okay?
No, it doesn't.
That might have affected them to 7, 14 points, whatever. I'll give you that.
Maybe.
That's not a 55-3 difference.
No,
I'll give
you the first drive. I'll give you the opening drive.
Yeah,
the opening drive, they drove down, scored a touchdown. I'll give you that. Mm-hmm. And then you think, okay, well, now it's settled. I mean, they're all Division I players.
That's right.
Hello.
That's right. They're mostly all on scholarship, just like on the other side of the field. So, yeah, it was a great game. Great night. Next BYU game isn't until they play Army on the 19th. When
are they going through all the when's Air Force and then Coast Guard? And,
I wish.
And then Homeland Security.
The Homeland Security football team. You don't want none of that.
No, you don't.
You don't want that. When does Missouri open?
A couple weeks. 3 weeks, 20.
Yeah, because it's got to be a conference game.
Yeah, against Alabama.
Oh, is it?
Alabama comes to Columbia.
Wow.
So
that should be interesting.
That should be interesting.
Yes. Might be fun. Then again, it might not be.
Might not be fun for people in Columbia.
Right.
I'd like it to be, but
are they supposed to be good this year?
New coach, new coaching. They've been going through all that, and he's supposed to be okay, and he's the players kind of coach. And we'll see. Mm-hmm. We'll see.
Also, the Kentucky Derby was run on Saturday, and apparently they had some weirdness at the end of the race.
Yeah, the race, of course. There's not going to be a Triple Crown.
Yeah, the winner was. What's the name of the winner?
I actually
don't know.
I forget. It was supposed to be Tis the Law. Right?
Yeah, Tis the Law won Belmont. Took second here though.
Yeah, didn't win.
And the winning horse passed up the Belmont Stakes winner. I think fairly late in the race.
Yeah, and it was it was exciting, and then the horse was all jacked up at the end, and they brought him into the winner's circle, and they put the big
roses on him,
over him, everything. He started freaking out in the winner's circle. And going around, we have the video of that, and you can see him just going crazy.
Yeah, check this out.
My favorite part.
I think he's actually just celebrating. I think he's celebrating his win, and he's just partying.
Oh,
do we not have the? We don't have the video.
But at the end,
okay.
At the end, my favorite. Oh, here we go.
There it is.
Yeah. He just starts freaking out, and knocking people over. But down in the bottom corner, after it's all said and done, when you freeze the picture. You watch the one guy in the bottom right-hand corner. He's standing behind the one guy with his hand on his back like, all right, this horse comes toward us. I'm pushing you into the horse. It's awesome. I mean, it's just great. It's just like, it's almost like, I guess that would be you.
Mm-hmm.
Right? If you're standing there and you're 2 or 3 deep and that horse is going crazy, you're backing up with your hand on the back of the person in front of you saying, you're going down first.
Yeah. Well, yeah, if you're a douchebag. If you don't care about other people, you're doing that, Jeffy. But for those of us who are brave enough to handle it, I'm moving that person out of the way. That's what I'm doing.
Here,
and then I'm hopping on the horse and calming it
yeah,
down.
Yeah.
Because that's just who I am.
Yeah.
You know?
It was really strange with no fans at the Kentucky Derby, too.
Yeah.
Boy. I mean, that was
no fans at the Derby,
weird.
No fans at the game last night.
Just really strange. I mean, it
feels surreal.
I'm glad that there's, games.
Yeah.
And sporting events.
Me too.
But
it is different. That's
really
for sure.
Different.
Yeah.
Really different.
And how long are we going to have to put up with that? How long are we going to have to do this? Will we ever get back to normal? Will they ever say, yeah, go ahead and fill up that stadium? Right now, it kind of doesn't feel like they're headed that direction.
No, it doesn't.
Does it?
No, it doesn't. Now, the first game, right, the earlier game this weekend had fans there. Right, the Army game had some fans.
Yeah,
there.
Army had fans in the stands. I don't know what the percentage was. Was it 25%?
Okay. I don't really remember. But then the state of Maryland was said no fans.
Navy wanted actually to have fans, and they were told no. Then they tried to get an exemption just for the cadets. Okay, well, let the cadets come to the game. No. Okay. All right. So that's still where we are in Democrat-run states.
I feel like it's a
Maryland.
good thing that the games are being played without any fans, because I'm guessing about 2 or 3 weeks in, right? The fans have got to say, okay, we want to go to these games.
I hope so. I hope we start demanding that we get back to normal a little bit. 888-900-3393. New poll out showing that more people right now, more Americans believe Joe Biden is the calming influence during all this rioting and BLM stuff. BLM, Antifa. Are you kidding me? What is wrong with people? Though neither candidate gets rave reviews for what they've said about the demonstrations, Biden is seen by more as trying to calm the situation, while the president is perceived by slightly more as encouraging fighting rather than calming things down. And the larger notion that violence could come to the suburbs finds little concern among those who actually reside in the suburbs. I reside in the suburbs. So do you.
I do.
And I'm concerned about the thing coming to the suburbs.
I am as well.
Jeez.
I am as well, because those of us that live in a suburb that's closer to, say, an area that would be protestable, it would seem that carryover could happen.
Oh, yeah, definitely. In some areas, they have come out to some suburbs.
Yeah.
It's already happened in some places. So the question regarding protests in U.S. cities, are they trying to calm the situation down? 49% say Biden is. 39%. So he's up by 10 points over Trump on that. Are they encouraging fighting? 30% say Biden's doing that. 47% say Trump.
Wow.
And neither 21% Biden, 14% Trump. Wow. So then, which is a better way to end the protests? According to National Registered Voters, police reform, Trump voters, 22%. Biden voters, 91% want police reform. Punishing protesters, 3% of Biden voters, 54% Trump supporters. Wow.
I guess the law and order tweets from President Trump mean that he's promoting the violence.
I guess. I don't know. Who would make you feel more safe? 48% Biden, 43% Trump. 48-43 Biden. Wow. Who would do a better job handling the economy? Biden 44, Trump 45. There you go. Still up by 1 on the economy.
The economy was only cranking prior to the COVID-19.
Yes, like never before. Who would do a better job handling coronavirus? Biden 50, Trump 38. 50-38 on that.
Wow.
That's not good. Are you most concerned? What are you most concerned about if Biden wins? Economic issues, 59%. Policing and protests, 31. Race and race relations, 7. And coronavirus, 4. Most concerned about if Trump wins, coronavirus, 38. Race, 30. Policing and protests, 17. And economic issues, 15. So, I mean, it just kind of
falls
into place after the first couple of questions. Who is your choice for president? Protests are a major factor. Okay, the protests are a major factor for you in this election. 50% say yes with Biden, 45% Trump. In Wisconsin, it's 46% Biden, 48% Trump. So it's a mixed bag, but President Trump still has some ground to cover, apparently. And it's bizarre, the perception of people that it is Biden trying to calm things down. The Democrats have not tried to calm things down since this thing began. In fact,
no, they have not.
Quite the opposite. They've encouraged rioting. They've excused it. The looting and the rioting, they haven't had a problem with any of that.
No, in fact, we've played the audio from the vice presidential candidate on the Democratic side, Kamala Harris,
right,
saying that it's going to continue, that needs to continue, and it's going to be in your face. I mean,
and it should be. Oh, okay. Wow. Okay, that's nice coming from the vice presidential candidate.
Right.
Just telling people, yeah, it's fine that you're rioting. It's fine. I'm sure she'd say, well, it's the protests. But the protests are turning into riots and looting all over the country. And they didn't make any distinction about that. She didn't say, the violence has to stop. But protesting is what America is about. I'm fine with that. But she didn't even do that.
Yeah.
They didn't even qualify it.
No,
Amazing.
Look, and she's also, she had a big, sit down with, Dana Bash on CNN, and she's answering questions about, and we'll play some of those today as her, questioning Trump and the virus. But she also had said that, they questioned her about Jacob Blake and how she feels that, the police officers need to be charged. I don't know all the evidence. I don't know any of the evidence. And I'm
then
not,
maybe
I'm
keep
not
your mouth
charge.
shut. How about
I'm
that?
not in charge, but, from what I've seen, sure, charge them all. And
really?
Yeah.
I mean, from what you've seen?
From what I've seen.
Guys resisting arrest, fighting with the cops, headed into his car to get something, presumably the knife. What else? Let me just get my driver's license while you guys are getting your weapons out.
Oh, wait, they're already out and you've already tased me?
I have not shown you my proof of insurance yet. Let me just walk around the car here. I'm just going to walk around the car, open the door, reach for something, but just keep in mind, I'm just getting my proof of insurance. Okay? You needn't worry about that.
Stop telling me to freeze and stop moving.
and stop tasing me. It hurt a little bit. I know didn't affect me to the point where I stopped struggling, but appreciate you not tasing me.
I'm hell-bent on showing you my proof of insurance.
Yeah, I'm going to show it to you regardless. No matter what you tell me. I'm reaching for my proof of insurance in the car. Yeah, man. I mean, what are you supposed to do as a police officer when he has resisted arrest like that? He's resisted the non-lethal forms of subduing him, and now he's going into the car reaching for something. Yeah. So, yeah, from what I've seen, charges are not necessary and should not be brought against the police. Now, Jacob Blake spoke up over the weekend.
He did.
Yeah. And here's what Jacob Blake had to say.
I just want to say, man, to all the young cats out there, and even the older ones, older than me, there's a lot more life to live out here, man. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Your life, and not only just your life, your legs, something that you need to move around and move forward in life, can be taken from you like this, man. And I promise you, the type of that you'll go through.
Yeah.
Staples. I got staples in my back, staples in my stomach. You do not want to have to deal with this, man. 24 hours, every 24 hours, it's pain. It's nothing but pain. It hurts to breathe. It hurts to sleep. It hurts to move from side to side. It hurts to eat. Please, I'm telling you, change our lives out there. We can stick together, make some money, make everything easier for our people out here, man, because there's so much time that has been wasted.
All right, man. That was super inspirational, wasn't it? He's an inspirational cat.
Very uplifting.
Yeah.
Very uplifting.
I mean, that's to the left. That's their guy. That's the one.
It sure is.
He's the one they love.
It sure is.
The reason. What was the reason? I'm sorry. What was the reason police were there in the first place? To talk to him a little bit and maybe have a word or two with him?
If I remember right, he wasn't supposed to be there.
No,
right?
he wasn't. He wasn't supposed to be there in somebody else's car either, and having just sexually assaulted someone, felony sexual assault. So, but very inspiring there from Jacob Blake. Thank you so much. That's powerful. 888-900-3393 and at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Let me tell you about iTarget Pro. If 2020 has done anything, it's reminded us about the importance of self-reliance. We've seen COVID, civil unrest, just bringing out the worst in some people. And the fact is, the police can't be everywhere all at once. That's why it's so important to be properly trained if you're a gun owner. And iTarget Pro is one of the best ways to dry fire train with your gun at home using their proprietary app and laser bullet. Now, because it's a laser bullet, it shows you it's safe. You can use it around the family. You can let the family try it too. And the laser shows you exactly where on the target your shots are landing. iTarget Pro, convenient, safe, going to save you a ton of money on ammo if you can even find the ammo. Plus, you don't need to wear a mask to use it. Dry fire training, it'll develop muscle memory, help with target reaction speed, sight alignment, trigger function, all kinds of things. And it's just plain fun. Comes in all the major calibers, including .223 and .556, so you can stay sharp with virtually any firearm. Right now, get 10% off, plus free shipping when you use the offer code PAT. Don't let circumstances dictate whether or not you're going to train. Take back control with iTarget Pro. It's the letter I, then targetpro.com. iTargetPro.com.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
President Trump says the Education Department is going to be looking at defunding schools that adopt the 1619 Project. Good. Why would you be okay at the Education Department with them teaching something that's false? It's not history. It's somebody's perspective of it. I'm sorry, that's not being taught to our children. No. So he said they're looking at taking funding away from school. And this is just throwing people into a tizzy. The ongoing series encourages readers to view America through the prism of slavery, referring to slaves brought to the state of Virginia in 1619. California has implemented the 1619 Project in schools, wrote an anonymous user on Twitter. Soon you won't recognize America. And quoting that, Trump wrote, Department of Education is looking at this. If so, they will not be funded. And that, of course, has people up in arms. How dare you not allow them to teach people false facts about history? How dare you not allow us to rewrite it for our children to hate America? Which is exactly what they're doing. I mean, how do you don't have a chance to develop a love and pride in your country when you're learning things like this, when things are being taught from that perspective. And it's not factual. First of all, America was not founded in 1619. I think most of us are aware of. Well, maybe not most of us. Wow. Some of us are aware of that. Oh man, it's really unbelievable what they're getting away with. And fortunately, again, this is why Trump was elected, right? Because he'll take on these issues. He's not afraid to. He will call it what it is, and it's wrong, and it's evil to be teaching our kids this in school. And I don't know that other Republican presidents would have had the giblets to do it.
I don't know either. And look, the 1619 Project has been a big push now for longer than we actually were aware, right? I mean, we got the big push, And we were like, wait, that's already part of curriculum?
Yeah. It happened that quickly. What was it, a year and a half ago when New York Times ran the 1619 Project? It came from one of their reporters.
Yeah. Pulitzer Prize winning, by the way.
Yes, right. That's right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. That makes you feel good, doesn't it?
Yeah, Hannah Nicole Jones.
That's great.
I love her.
Yeah, don't you? Me too. I can't tell you how much.
Well.
So all of a sudden, a year later, it's already being taught in schools.
Yeah.
That is amazing. Wow. 888-900-3393 and at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. We've got Kamala Harris talking about these issues. We were just mentioning some of the things she was focused on. Here's Kamala on reimagining the police.
Status quo thinking to believe that putting more police on the streets creates more safety. That's wrong. So my question for you now, in retrospect, looking at your time as DA and as Attorney General of California through the lens of 2020, did you help contribute to what you describe as a status quo thinking that more police equals more safety?
I am very clear that we have got to, in America, reimagine how we are accomplishing public safety.
Yeah, we've got to reimagine it. What does that mean? We've got to reimagine it? Okay. So police don't lead to public safety? Is that what we're supposed to believe now?
Well,
what will lead to public safety? Just turning things over to BLM?
Well,
just turn your neighborhood over to the Black Lives Matter group.
Obviously, you're reimagining different than me.
Oh, okay. What are you imagining? Reimagining.
I'm reimagining that we're not cutting police departments per se.
Okay.
We're just going to have more officers that aren't really officers.
Really?
That are sent out to calm people down.
What are they? Pastry chefs? Are we sending? They're not.
I actually would be a fan
officers.
of that.
They're pastry chefs, and when they show up and they show up in your neighborhood, they will teach you how to do a French eclair properly.
I think I could be a fan of that reimagination.
It might work. I don't know. Rather than getting all pissed off at each other, how about we just
let's
bake goods? Why don't we just bake things?
Let's bake.
That's what we do.
Stop fighting.
Yeah, just
stop
bake.
Arguing. Let's get in the kitchen. Let me show you how to bake. I've brought some flour. I've got some dough here. Let's go. Actually, I like that.
It might work. It just might work. She might be onto something.
Then
here.
again, it might not.
Yeah, it's possible. Either way, I'm about 50-50 on it. Then she's talking about the situation in Kenosha and the Kenosha police.
I want to turn to Kenosha.
Okay.
You believe that the officer who shot Jacob Blake should be charged. You were the district attorney in San Francisco. I'm wondering if you put yourself in the position of the DA in Kenosha and how you would feel if you got pressure from the Democratic running mate to be vice president of the United States to
That's a good
put
question.
criminal charges in without necessarily knowing the facts that the DA knows.
No, you're absolutely right. And that's why I've been very clear. I am not in full possession of the facts of the case. But based on what I've seen, I think that charges very much should be considered.
That's great.
And should be considered in a very serious way, and that there should be accountability and consequence. But I think the bigger point here is also that we have to agree that we can't have a system that does not require accountability and consequence for everyone who breaks the rules or breaks the law. And that includes police officers. But everyone is entitled to due process. Everyone, including police officers, and I encourage that. I support that. I think our democracy and our system of justice requires that.
The way I took what you said,
we're not a democracy.
I think it was last week, was much more forward-leaning.
No,
that they should be charged.
I think that based on what I saw, he should be charged. But I am not in full possession of the facts and the evidence.
Why do you keep speaking about it?
And the prosecutor in the case must make a decision based on all of the evidence.
Okay.
Right.
Again, she doesn't have the facts.
No,
but
I don't
she
know
just
anything.
thinks they should be charged. But again, I mean, I don't know the facts. I'm just saying. What I'm saying is, from my point of view, I think they should be charged. I think put them away in prison lock them in and throw the key out and just leave them there.
But due process.
Everybody needs it. Even police, even the grimy police, even they need it.
Now, she spoke to Jacob yesterday, too.
Oh.
She spoke to him, told him she was proud of him.
Wait, she's proud of him.
She's proud of him.
Did she really say that?
An inspirational and uplifting 1-hour visit with Jacob Blake Jr. and his family.
She's proud of him.
She spoke individually.
How did the victim feel about that? Maybe we should ask her. Are you proud of him too? You know, his felony sexual assault victim. Wonder how proud she is of him. Huh.
Well, she discussed some policy changes that she and Vice President Biden are seeking, including the Justice and Policing Act.
Okay.
And implicit bias training to make things better for all Americans.
Did she mention what it is she's proud of him for?
No. No, she did. I guess
I'm really proud that you resisted
up to injustice.
I'm really proud that you sexually assaulted your ex-girlfriend. Really proud of that. Then I'm proud of the fact that you stole her car and took a joyride in it. And you stole money from her ATM account. From her bank account with an ATM card because you took it from her house after you molested her, and then you were greeted by police officers who maybe detain you, and you fought with them, wrestled out of their hold, would not comply. Nothing happened when they tased you twice, and then I'm really proud that you walked around the car as they showed you they were willing to use lethal force with their weapons drawn. And you still opened the door and reached for something. Wow, I'm bursting with pride for you. That is awesome. What a wonderful person you are. Come on.
I think that's actually a quote.
Yes, I think it is. Quote. I think it is. Or are you just proud that he got shot in the back 7 times? I'm so proud of you for that. That's great.
A lot of people wouldn't left be standing.
No, they wouldn't. I'm proud that you survived that. I mean, that is something right there.
Did you ever, I'd like to follow up on that, did you ever get your proof of insurance? It's not funny. The guy should.
No, it's not funny. But it's just so ludicrous. What are you supposed to do other than make fun of the situation because it is so ludicrous? It's just, I'm proud of you. Really? For what? Again, it's the deification of anybody who has had anything happen to them with the police, whether justified or not. And in so many of these cases, whose names we're supposed to say and remember, it was justified. Not all, but in many of the cases, it was justified. I mean, after we saw all of the video and heard all of the reports from George Floyd, you shouldn't have had your knee on his neck for 8 minutes.
No, you shouldn't.
You should not have done that.
And those other officers it's embarrassing that they're police officers.
It is.
And didn't stop that.
Right. But the guy had a lethal amount of fentanyl in his system. He struggled with them. He could have been in the car and safe and alive today had he just allowed them to put him in the back seat of the cruiser. He'd be alive. We wouldn't be going through any of this right now. So it's not that was not justified. But there are extenuating circumstances there.
Yes. That
need to be considered.
Right. And when those are considered, it's a little frightening of what could happen if the outcome isn't what the prosecutors want.
Can you imagine if he's found
if those officers
not guilty?
Are found not guilty?
Wow, we'll be going through this all over again, even worse.
It'll be ugly.
And
ugly.
I mean, is that going to be in the head of the jury if there is a jury trial, or the judge if he's deciding? I mean, we're only human.
I know.
I'm in a bad place right now. 888-900-3393. And it Pat Unleashed on. Good news, though. Feels like Monday, but it's not.
Yay!
Yay!
Pat Gray, the Blaze Radio Network. Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
This is pretty cool news. The EPA just approved the first ever long-lasting antiviral product for use against COVID-19. It's a groundbreaking development that apparently you can spray this new antiviral into airplanes and I don't know, movie theaters,
whatever surfaces.
You just spray down every surface, and it's good for weeks on end. Now they did say it doesn't take the place of normal cleaning. We're a little pissed about that.
I am aware of that. The guy said it. Now this doesn't take the place of normal cleaning, and I'm like, I still have to bathe.
That's unconscionable.
Come on now. What are you talking about?
So now you wrecked it for Jeffy. Now he's.
I mean, if you're going to create something,
right? At least make it all encompassing.
Let me spray it on. Mm-hmm. I don't have to. I'm done. I don't have to shower.
You don't have to shower
wash,
ever
nothing.
Again.
Every 25 days or so, I spray that on. I'm good.
I guess it's really long lasting.
I mean, that's huge.
Yeah, very huge. So you could use this at schools.
The implications of that.
Football stadiums, presumably.
That is not $1 million idea. That's a billion dollar idea.
Whoever invented this is going to be wealthy beyond their wildest dreams.
Right.
Because who wouldn't want to use this? You use this in the workplace. You spray down every surface.
Right. I mean,
that's not the whole battle, but that's huge.
Someone
in
needs
controlling
to
this thing.
Impress on President Trump not to mention it.
Yeah, because otherwise, as soon as he says, "Hey, the EPA just had a breakthrough," they just approved a major breakthrough in protection against COVID-19. The press will go nuts against it. Yep. It'll be the worst substance ever
approved by the EPA.
ever approved. It'll be absolute poison to people. You want to kill people? Just spray this stuff on it on any surface.
EPA approves the new DDT.
Trump pressures EPA into approving dangerous substance. You know all that's coming.
Oh, yeah.
All of it's the first time he mentions it. This stuff doesn't have a chance, whatever it's called. I can't find the name of it, but really exciting breakthrough.
It's called Fisher.
Is it?
Yeah, it's called Fisher.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm surprised you're sitting there then today.
I told Keith I'd be here, so I'm here.
You're just a man of your word.
So I am. I am. But
very impressive.
I've been a little busy trying to create the antiviral spray.
So this first of its kind, they've issued an emergency exemption to the state of Texas, permitting it to allow American Airlines, who just, by the way, laid off 19,000 employees.
Yeah.
19,000.
And the other airlines are already laying
about
the groundwork.
To follow suit.
Yeah. Laying the groundwork for that.
So they're allowing American Airlines and Total Orthopedic Sports and Spine to use the new product. And it kills these viruses on surfaces for up to 7 days. 7 days! After carefully reviewing the available data and information, the agency determined that the product helps to address the current national emergency. This product is expected to provide longer-lasting protection in public spaces. I mean, that's
no kidding.
That's a game changer, really. I think that's a game changer.
Yes. I mean, we already knew that the airlines were spraying down with the foggers, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But they were doing that in between flights.
Right.
I mean, it was like it wasn't a lasting spray.
And I would think movie theaters, this is like a godsend for them. You just spray down the theater once. You don't have to go in there after every single showing and do some kind of massive cleaning, which you're all doing now. And I went to a movie for the for the first time since people were there. I mean, Stu and I went to a movie early on when the first one opened, just as kind of a joke. But this was for real because Tenet opened. You familiar with that movie? Have you seen the previous?
Bit. Yeah, I mean,
amazing movie. I slept through a lot of it.
It was that amazing.
No, I mean, it was amazing.
That amazing.
I was just that tired. I was just wiped out, having gotten up at 2 and 2:30 all week, and then by Friday, I'm just like, I want to stay awake, but no, I couldn't. Anyway, the theater was maybe 25%.
Wow.
Yeah, and so that's going to limit the amount of money you can take in for the weekend, and it did. Now, this movie cost $200 million to make, and in its first weekend made $20 million. But I mean, we're talking about an industry that was making what, $1,000 a few weeks ago?
Yeah.
Because literally no one went to a movie theater. They were all closed, for one thing.
Yeah, they were all closed. And in fact, their big promotion this weekend was Tenet is showing in every movie theater that's open.
Wow.
I mean,
every movie theater that's open is showing this movie. And it still made just $20 million, right. Which is, pretty good under the circumstances.
And that's going to be the argument with the spray, right? Now I'm trying to find an out for the antiviral spray. Okay, so we spray things down. That still doesn't stop the human-to-human spread, right?
Probably not. No, right. If you're infected and you leave your germs on the surface, though, it's going to kill those.
Right.
But if somebody's breathing in your face, no, it won't stop that. Won't stop
So they're still going to force me to wear a mask.
Yes. And get the vaccine.
Which I'm okay with.
Are you okay with the vaccine? Because Keith is adamant that no matter what, he's not taking it.
I know.
He's not taking it.
I know. A lot of people are.
I'm considering it.
A lot of people. I mean, I feel like I have to.
Yeah, you got too many other issues, right? Yeah. You got all those diseases that are battling each other.
I haven't gotten a flu shot yet this year. And I talked to someone this weekend that just got it. And I thought, oh, that's right.
That just got the flu shot or got the virus?
The flu shot. Okay. And I still have to, I said, that reminded me that I still have to worry about that.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I'm really not worried about the flu.
It feels like I shouldn't be worried about the flu at all.
I've never been worried about the flu. Never gotten the flu shot. Just take my chances with that. The flu doesn't seem like a killer to me. Unless
obviously
you're
it is,
80.
yeah.
If you're 80, yeah, it can be. But I'm not 80
I
yet.
take it.
Yes, you being well beyond 80 should be taking it. Plus, you've got every other disease known to mankind.
So if there's a vaccine for it, I take it.
You better take it because that'll affect the balance of power of the viruses inside your body. If you get this one too, balance of power shot.
I feel like I probably should.
Yeah, I think you should.
I
think I should.
Yeah.
I'm certainly willing to consider it.
Yeah, me too.
I'm not just going to offhandedly say, "Oh, absolutely not." Now, if they mandate it, that might be a different thing. Then my freedom issues will kick into gear. No, you're not forcing me to do that. No, now I'm not going to take it.
That's why I'm so upset about the masks.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is the mandate.
Because I'm willing to do it.
Me too.
If you want me to that badly, so I can't go into the grocery store unless I have a mask on. All right, I'm going to put your stupid mask on. If you want me to wear the mask at church because it makes everybody feel better, I'm going to wear the mask. If I have to wear it at the movie theater till I sit down or at a restaurant until I sit down, then take it off. Seems stupid to me, but I'll do it. Is that
the deal at the movie theater that you can take it off while you're sitting down?
They don't really say that, but I just kind of assumed it because I'm not going to sit there for 2.5 hours with a mask on.
And you're obviously, a lot of people are eating.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you're not eating with the mask on, duh.
Right.
But
I didn't wear the mask during the movie.
Did they have, at the theater, I've seen some signs where they're mandating specific kind of masks now.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Were there any signs there about the masks at the movie theater?
Not that I noticed. Mm-mm. What, the N95? Okay. Like they're mandating?
Yeah, they were saying
N95.
I've got there was a sign posted online that talked about how it was it was at a movie theater too. It was really strange that it would. Here we go. It was at an AMC. Your mask must cover your nose and mouth and fit snugly around your face and chin. Neck gaiters, open chin bandanas, and masks with vents or exhalation valves are not acceptable at this time, based on World Health Organization guidelines. Now that...
Well, they should also include the cloth and the surgical mask with that, too, because that's not protecting us much.
Right.
I mean, 30% maybe, people say.
Now, and this was in one particular movie theater, but still...
yeah, that's hardcore.
Right.
Yeah, that's amazing. Well, that's going to damage attendance too, because not only do I have to wear a mask, but it's got to be a specific kind of mask.
And I don't know that.
I don't even have that. I don't even have a mask like that. and I don't know where to get one. I don't want to know where to get one. What do you think of that? I'm not coming to your stupid theater. How about that? What do you think of that? Oh, man. So, apparently, all systems are go now for the release of Wonder Woman 1984 and the new James Bond movie, No Time to Die. And then, over the weekend, Mulan debuted on Disney+. You have Disney+, right?
Yeah.
Did you guys watch Mulan?
Man, did we?
Yeah, big time.
We brought the neighborhood in.
Do they not?
Nah.
They're not into Mulan?
Nah, I don't care.
Okay.
In fact, we boycotted it.
Did you?
We're part of the Chinese boycott.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
No, Mulan is not. I mean, it wasn't any big push to watch it at my house, so I was good with it.
I'm kind of looking forward to seeing it.
I was afraid that my kids were actually going to say, we should watch it. And then I'd have to say yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big movie that's coming out right in your house. That's cool.
I know.
For
I love
$30,
the process.
I do too.
I am all for the process.
Absolutely.
And have been for years.
Absolutely.
So I should actually do it just to prove that the process works.
I think so. Yes. It's to support the process, and the process will happen more often.
Right.
That's my theory right now. So I want it to happen. I mean, I still want movie theaters to exist and to thrive and, to be a viable business, but I also want the home industry to explode because I think you can do both, and I think we've proven that in the last few years. Now, there's a 3-month chasm? There's a 3-month chasm between the movie theater release and the at-home viewing. And I shout out across that chasm, I'm Israel Chachem Lechimbach. That's what I said. That's what I meant.
Does the movie industry understand that?
No, they don't. That's why they haven't listened to it yet. So when that goes from 3 months to, what is it, a week they're talking about now?
Yeah, they're talking
2
a lot
weeks?
less. Yeah,
way less.
If I would have made the deal,
I mean, you can easily wait 2 weeks, right?
Yes.
For any movie.
And there was no stipulation about if it was, like a top 2 or 3 movies or anything.
No,
I
got the impression
release.
It's pretty much everything.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good deal for the movie industry, not the theaters.
Yeah,
I would have thought that the theaters would have struck a better deal.
And really, I think this is a freight train that's left the station.
No question.
There's no stopping.
Which is why I thought they would at least have strike a better deal to begin with.
Yeah.
Right. To at least say, okay, you got 30 days, and you got the top 3 movies can't go until they're out of the top 3, something like that.
That's the kind of stuff they used to do, and they must have lost that power because they didn't do it this time.
And maybe that's it. Maybe they came to the table, and
they're like, no.
Hollywood was like,
no.
Here's the deal. If you want to show any movies at all, this is what's going to happen.
Yeah, because they've seen they can make money on the home market, and they can make a lot of it.
We've cried for it.
Yeah, we love it.
We've cried for stop it.
So
what are you doing?
So convenient.
Yes.
I think the only theaters that are going to survive are the new ones like they're doing in Texas now, where with the recliner, you got what's essentially a lazy boy recliner. You got the food coming to you. You've got the big screen, super high quality audio. I mean, that's the only reason to go is because
in
it's
America,
a real
I feel
experience.
Like as fat Americans, it does seem the only viable way.
You go into that auditorium seating thing that we used to with the little chair that maybe rocked back and forth. No, I'm not going to that theater. I haven't been to one of those theaters in I don't know how long.
It's been a long time. I mean, I think my daughter and I went to see a movie in a regular theater, and it
feels ancient.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was okay. I loved it. It's fine.
Feels
I got
like
no
you're
problem
sitting
with
in
it,
somebody's garage now. Why am I in this garage? What am I doing here?
It was so funny because I remember it's actually my daughter was like, all right, we're going to go, we'll go see this movie. Yeah, we'll go. And then it was like, we have to go to this particular theater. Oh.
Oh, no. I'm sorry, no.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we're going to see them. I know, Dad, but
there's a movie theater in a really nice outdoor, shopping plaza type thing. What are they? These town centers?
Yeah.
It's a really nice town center and a really nice. Well, it's in South Lake, Texas. What the heck?
Yeah.
And their movie theater there is an old AMC.
Yeah.
And it's just we used to go there all the time until the new ones opened. I haven't been there, I'll bet, in 6 years since
there's a standalone big AMC theater in another, this Alliance Town Center area. It's really nice.
Really nice.
It's really nice.
Yeah.
And it still feels like...
Nope. Not going there.
You guys going to close the garage door? Let me watch this thing. That's really funny because that's exactly what it feels like.
Yeah. I'm sitting in somebody's garage.
I'm in the man cave.
What do you want me to put your car up on a lift and look at it? All right. Go ahead. Hoist it up, would you?
Really funny.
All right.
Really, I know. It just feels really strange.
It does.
It feels really strange. And for those, and look, I don't mind going again, but it is nice to have food brought to you, seats reserved.
Mm-hmm.
You know where you're sitting when you go in.
Yeah, and it's super comfortable. They recline almost all the way. I mean, sometimes they're almost too comfortable, and because you can't stay awake, like I realized on Friday. Wow, I was very, very comfortable.
Just go
and
out.
Boom, I was out.
It's out. It's been a long time since I've actually gone out at a theater.
Really?
You kind of nod off from time to time, back up. But I haven't gone. It hasn't been just where.
Oh, I did. I'll bet I missed half the movie. I woke up, and it's a complicated story, so you got to really pay attention. You have to be in it to understand it.
Figure out where you're at.
And when I woke up, I'm like, I have no idea what's going on here. I am out of this one.
Push the order button. Just bring me some more food.
Just bring me a milkshake or something, all right? I might as well just get fatter while I'm sitting here. 888-933-93. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. We'll tell you the latest of a church in California that was fined. You won't believe what they were fined for. Well, you might. You might. It is 2020 after all.
No kidding.
You very well might. Also, some new Hillary claims. Well, they're kind of the same old claims, but she's making them again about the Russians and Donald Trump. That and much more coming up. Pat Gray Unleashed.
Pat Gray Unleashed on the Blaze Radio Network. Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Welcome to it. 888-933-93. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. College football is back. And it's not pissed at all. In fact, it's really pretty happy. It's a happy time.
Well,
it's a happy time.
Okay.
Over the weekend, something happened last night that what was it? Oh, that's right. BYU 55, Navy 3. That's what it was.
Very disappointing second half for BYU.
Well, because they put in all the reserves. It was 31-0 at halftime.
I don't want to hear about your reserves. All I know is that they gave up 3 points.
Yeah, they did give up 3 points.
And they only scored 1 touchdown in the fourth quarter. That's all I know. Yep. Disappointing second half.
Yep. I mean, when you put in the entire second and third teams in the middle of the third quarter, yeah. And it's kind of a shame because the starters gave up almost no yards, let alone points.
I know.
They shut them down.
Hard.
Whew.
Even after, in the first quarter, my man Zach throws that interception.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, boy.
Yeah.
Here we go. Because not that I'm aware of Navy coming back and defeating a team after you've taken the lead in a bowl game, say against, I don't know, Missouri. So I thought, oh, here we go. And then,
but no, shut them down after that.
Good. Yeah, it was
and the offense couldn't be
strong
stopped.
Performance.
Yeah, it really was. So, yeah, great game. A lot of fun to see, and just so badly needed. We just need football in our lives right now, don't we? It's kind of weird not to have the fans there.
Really weird.
But I sort of didn't notice it after a while. It just kind of maybe it wasn't the same for you because you probably weren't as into the game as I was. But it didn't bother me after a while. Yeah,
turned me into a fan of BYU.
So,
and you're at the beginning. I thought, you hear the players, and I thought maybe they were piping the audio in a little bit extra.
I think they should do that.
I think so too.
They should do that.
I think so too.
They did not do that last night, but it wouldn't have hurt to have some audio piped in.
No, it would.
I don't know why they don't do that. Why wouldn't you do that?
I know.
What's the downside of that? It's artificial. So, I mean, you could still have.
There's apps that you dial in and you're cheering.
Oh,
through
it'd be
the app.
easy. Yeah, and they've done it at certain
they've done
games.
it all over.
I think Major League Baseball has done it.
They've got basketball has done it. Soccer's done it. There's been other events put on by people. I don't know, named Tony Robbins that has done it. I mean, they've done it.
And you should just allow the home team to act like the home team. You know, they cheer when the home team does something good, and you know they don't when the visiting team does something good. It should have been like a real game. That would not be hard to do, right? That's just not hard to do.
Now, I don't know that I want, now that I'm saying it out loud, I don't know that I want them to do that, because that takes away from the idea that I would like the fans to be upset and say, we want to go to these games.
That's true. They're still going to be.
Go to the games.
Yeah, and hopefully they will soon. I don't know. But that was Maryland, and you can expect that Maryland is going to make stupid decisions. Like,
I don't know, other states that have made stupid decisions.
Right. And there have been quite a few of them.
There have, including the regime in California that are a nightmare regime.
Which is part of the reason I think the Pac-12 closed down.
Oh, yeah. I mean, wow.
Just too tough to do it in California right now. You just can't. Plus, they're a bunch of sissies. So.
It's tough to play football 6 feet apart.
Oh, and that was another thing. Why are Reese Davis and Kirk Herbstreit 6 feet apart in the booth? They both know they don't have COVID. Come on. What is that?
I know.
You guys have been tested. You know you're fine.
Come on.
You have to be 6 feet apart in the broadcast booth?
The look, right? I mean,
Stupid.
That's the look.
That's just symbolic.
Right.
America, you're supposed to socially distance.
Right. That's all it is. And
that's asinine.
We saw the president. I know we don't have the clip. I didn't ask for the clip, but we saw President Trump in a press conference this weekend. Say to one of the people asking him a question, "All right, look, you're gonna have to take your mask off. I can't. You're too mumbling. You're mumbling up. You're gonna have to take your mask off. How far apart are we? We're fine. Take that thing off." He wouldn't do it.
Oh, he didn't.
And he said, "No, there's other people involved, and I'll try to talk clearer through the mask." And Trump's like, "Okay, whatever. It's fine." He gave up it was just like, he's just like, "Okay, fine, whatever." But
he wouldn't even bring it down? Ridiculous.
Of course not, because Trump asked him to.
Can we be real here, please? Could we? Just for a minute, could we just be real?
Okay.
You don't have to be 6 feet apart in the broadcast booth, and you can take your mask down for half a second to ask the President of the United States a question.
No, I can't, though.
Apparently not.
I can't, though, because someone else may be within my 6 feet window.
Yeah.
When I take my mask down.
Or I might sneeze while my mask is down.
You couldn't put it up real quick?
No, sometimes those come on too fast.
Yes, inadvertent sneezing. Yeah. It's a medical condition that I have.
Asinine.
It's just insane.
It's just
really just insane. And we've talked about it before about the reporters on the street doing live shots.
Yeah, nobody around them. Nobody around for miles.
I got the symbolic message of it. Okay,
I don't need the symbolism of it.
I don't either.
I'm not a mindless moron.
I don't either.
That thinks,
okay, they're wearing a mask, so I must too.
Right.
It's just,
come on,
stop it.
We got it.
Yeah. Let's return to America, shall we? Let's return to some common sense.
We got it. And that's my point with the mandates of the mask, too, as we were saying earlier. Look, I got it. Tell me it's that I need to wear a mask for my safety. I understand. And I believe you. And you know what? If I go into a place where there's a bunch of people, I'll wear a mask.
Right.
I got no problem with it. But the you telling me I have to, that's a problem.
By the way, speaking of football, here's how bad it is. The godless animals, who we could have been giving this beating to last Thursday.
Which you would have loved.
Oh, I would have loved it.
I know.
I would have loved it. I just had the feeling, too. We play them this year. We beat them this year.
Well, you have to. Oh, my gosh. It's been quite some time.
They need to.
That's where that hasn't happened.
But because they're part of the Pac-12, they're not playing football at all. And it's so bad there at the University of Utah that they furloughed the entire athletic department. Every employee in the University of Utah athletic department has been furloughed. That sucks.
That's gonna.
That's the athletic director. Those are all the coaches, including $4 million a year Kyle Whittingham, the head coach. That's
gonna happen
amazing.
at many of these universities, I think, because when we mentioned, I mean, last week when they started saying, well, if we don't play, this university is going to be out $112 million, and this university is going to be out about $160 million, and you start thinking, maybe we ought to vote to play.
Right. Maybe you ought to reconsider Pac-12. Look how you're hurting your institutions. Yeah. Same with the Big Ten.
Yes.
You better get your butt in gear.
I know.
Last I heard October 9th or 10th, whatever that was. And then they said, no, that's not likely. And then they said, vote. Yes, it is. And now they're supposed to vote. Did they vote?
Not that I'm aware of.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything on that.
Not that I'm aware of.
Weird. Wow.
I mean, it's really, maybe they don't have the votes, so why vote if they don't have the votes?
Right.
There's plenty of people arguing for, coaches are being interviewed. Yeah, we could be ready to play. And
you better get on it.
Right.
Or you're going to look like Navy did last night. So you don't want that. 888-900-3393. All right. Hillary had some interesting comments about the election.
She did. And it wasn't necessarily, sure, she's still yapping, Hillary yap.
Mm-hmm.
But the best part of this entire video, you could pay attention to what she's saying if you want. But the best part of the video is the video itself. While she's yapping, Bill is sitting behind her.
But think of that. Bill is even around her. How often does that occur?
I know.
Not that often.
I know. And you can tell that he is just enjoying it so much.
Oh, all right. Let's see.
And these people will stop at nothing. And yes, the Russians helped them last time. The Russians are helping them now. And you cover the White House.
Look at him.
The White House has said, don't
awesome.
brief the Congress. Don't even tell them in classified settings what the Russians are doing this time.
Why is he even in the shot when you're just going to sit there and nasty face the whole time?
It's so good. Every so often he just leans in and says, I actually was president twice. Okay.
I could be hanging out with fat chicks right now. Instead, I'm listening to this BS from Hillary.
The days of Jeffrey Epstein and the Oval Office cigars are long gone, man. Now he's quarantined with that. And some people are calling that karma.
Uh-huh. And you can tell he loves it.
Right, that's what I'm saying. How much in love he is with her.
Yeah,
love is still there.
It's pouring out of him.
Right.
The sentiment for his lovely wife is pouring out of him. He needn't say a word. Look at
that. So good.
He needn't say a word. Right. Picture says it all.
It sure does, man. I mean, I almost feel sorry for him.
But not quite.
I do, though.
Yeah, I don't.
I do.
Not at all. But let's listen to the substance of what she's saying here now. Listen to this. This is crazy talk.
And these people will stop at nothing. And yes, the Russians helped them last time. The Russians are helping them now. And you cover the White House. What? You know that the White House has said, don't brief the Congress. Don't even tell them in classified settings what the Russians are doing this time.
That is
what?
Irresponsible and asinine. The Russians helped them last time. Really? Explain that. In what way? What exactly did the Russians do for them last time?
Well,
and they're helping them now? Doing what? What are they doing for them?
Made it possible that she lost.
Yeah, somehow somebody else is responsible for it, not her. She's a victim again. All these Democrats are victims of somebody somewhere. It's through no fault of their own, though. It's through no fault of her own that she lost. It's not because people didn't like her. It was because of the Russians.
Of course not.
The evil, nasty, mean Russians.
And also that now, as she states, we know that they're not briefing Congress on classified information that they know that the Russians are.
No, you don't know that.
No, right?
No, you don't know that.
I mean, that's saying that, that's Schiff saying, well, we're not being briefed.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe you're not part
Maybe you're not being briefed.
Correct.
Given that you're not an elected official anymore. So that would make sense.
Nice day.
Jeez, I mean, that is irresponsible and really not helpful for what all the things that are going on in this country right now. And then you've got her saying those kinds of things that she knows nothing about. She doesn't know that. She can't prove that. It's agonizing. Agonizing. 888-900-3393. Also, apparently all white people are racist demons. We've discovered that now too?
Oh, yes. Well,
yeah, okay. That goes without saying, really. I know it's silly of me to even.
I don't know why you're even thinking like they're not.
Right. Well,
I'm sorry, we're not.
Let's make sure everybody knows and go ahead and.
All white people are racist.
All white people are racist.
I put this up because I really want any white person in the room to know up front that this is what we're dealing with.
Pause it for a second.
It's not going to be this.
Oh my gosh. She wants any white people to know that that's what we're dealing with. That's what we're dealing with, is that you people are all racist. What a racist statement that in and of itself is. Okay, you've just lumped all white people into being racists?
Oh, yeah.
Just because they're white.
Of course.
That's perfectly fine to do now.
That's the system that's being created all over now.
Sure is.
Right? You have to admit it.
And is that not the epitome of racism? When you just stereotype every person of a certain stripe, they're all one way?
No, not if you're white. It's not the epitome.
I can't believe it. All right, start this from the beginning because this is phenomenal.
All white people are racist. So I put this up because I really want any white person in the room to know up front that this is what we're dealing with, that it's not going to be this coddling of white tears and what that looks like. We're not going to discuss, maybe some of us have worked it out. No, you're always going to be racist, actually. So even when you're on your path to trying to figure out how to be a better human being, because
they're all white. They're almost all white.
Yep.
Like that actually, instead of people of color and black folks being dehumanized, that actually everyone is dehumanized off rip within white supremacy. Yep. That y'all are born into a life to not be human.
That is
and that's what y'all are
unbelievable.
Taught to do,
those are the workshops.
So in this particular way,
wait, did you just say we're racist demons? Racist. Wait, I mean, it's not bad enough we're all racist, but we're all racist demons. Huh. So she literally demonized white people.
Yeah.
Literally demonized them. And they're all sitting there lapping it up.
Yeah.
I saw one person get up. I don't know if they got up to leave. I hope so. I mean, that whole...
Well, they stood up to admit they're racist.
Yeah, right, probably. Every white person in that class should have gotten up and left.
I mean, and look, you can't. Well, I mean, you can't. Obviously, you can't. But you can't if you expected to keep your job, if you want to continue being a teacher, a professor, or work at the company that you're working at.
That's
and
unbelievable.
if you question it, you're lucky to keep your job even if you question it. But if you were to get up and leave, you're done, right? I mean,
I would have gotten up. Then I would have said, okay, what you have just said here is the most racist thing I've ever heard in my life. And I'm not going to sit here for it. So you can spew it all you want, but I'm not going to be a part of it.
But not me.
Yeah. Yep. Wow.
Looking for a new job.
Jeez. Have you noticed your hair isn't looking as full as it used to?
Yes.
Have you?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Yes is the answer to that.
That is not fun either. So here's some options for you. You can go to your doctor for a hair loss treatment prescription, then visit the pharmacy and try not to go broke, just trying to avoid going bald. Or you can try Keeps from the comfort of your own living room couch. You get the same doctor-recommended, FDA-approved hair loss treatment, but Keeps offers the generic versions for about half the price. And one more thing you'll love about Keeps, it's all online. So you just go online, answer a few questions, snap some photos of your hair and post those. And then a licensed doctor reviews your info and recommends the right hair loss treatment for you. Why make unnecessary trips to the doctor and drugstore when you can do it all from home? Plus, we're going to get you started with a special deal. Go to keeps.com/Pat and get 50% off your first order of Keeps hair loss treatments. So not only does a generic version save you about 50% over the brand name, but then we're going to give you another 50% off just to get you started here. Keeps.com/Pat. Go there now. Keeps.com/Pat.
Pat Gray. Only on the Blaze Radio Network. Pat Gray returns on the Blaze Radio Network.
888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. You got a tweet over there that came into you last night before the football game, Joe?
It was an email. An email? Sent to my chewingthefat@theblaze.com account. Listener Jeremy sent an email. Growing up in South Louisiana, never in my life would I have ever thought I'm going to watch BYU. But here we are. Good luck, Pat.
And Jeremy, you're welcome.
Go Cougs. G-A-U-X. Cougs.
Nice. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Leads us to Sam in Utah. Sam, welcome to the Blaze. You a football fan, Sam?
I mean, I'm kind of strange, I guess, when it comes to sports.
Are you?
I'd rather play than watch, and I don't play a whole lot. So
okay. All right.
I'm sorry.
When somebody asks you that question, though, and you
sarcasm and
when somebody asks you that question and you start with "I mean," then you know the answer is no.
Yes, the answer is no.
The answer is no. I'm not a football fan. Yeah.
All
right.
I come for the sarcasm and I stay for the news, guys.
That's good enough. We'll take it.
So
what's up?
So first I wanted to get something off my chest. Hi, my name's Sam. I'm white and I'm a racist demon.
Hi, Sam.
Hi, Sam.
You racist demon, you.
Welcome, Sam.
Yes, yeah. Come to my group Thursday nights, Dirty Racist Six Anonymous, and we'll get you the help you need.
Okay.
So, no, but I had something to add to what you guys were talking about with masks earlier.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe shed some light on why these theaters and stuff are doing what they're doing. So not only here at the beginning of September did our county extend our mask mandate through January 8th.
Wow.
Yeah.
Completely. Yeah.
January 8th. That is insane.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. For further review, it's always a rubber date. And that's one thing I've always been uneasy with.
What county are you in?
Summit County in Utah.
With Park City and
Park City.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the one. And they've done the same thing. They've said, well, certain masks, the gaiters, the thin, certain types of material masks are no longer effective. And I think it actually comes from a study done by Duke University. I think 2 weeks ago now.
Yes, we talked about that study and the differences of which mask is the best and what is most effective. But they were still saying that, while they are less effective, they're still
somewhat
effective. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, and some of what I saw too was that they actually are worse because the filters, the fabric, what does pass through is actually broken up and can hang in the air longer.
Oh, good. Okay. Yeah. Good.
So, and immediately I thought, okay, so we've been wearing these things for 2.5 months,
right?
And you just let us wear them, and then two, okay, so you force this on us without doing any research, I guess, into which masks are effective and which ones aren't.
Right.
It's like, why are we still listening to these people?
I know. It's a good question. It really is.
An excellent question.
It really is. Appreciate it, Sam. You're not supposed to think of that question. You're not supposed to consider it because what they say goes. And
don't ask it in public.
And then when they contradict themselves tomorrow, that's the new thing that they say that goes. And then the day after that, when they go back to the original statement, then now what they say goes. Yes. So, I mean, it's agonizing. They don't know. And they didn't know at the beginning of this. They didn't know in the middle, and they don't know now. They have no idea. So I think they're just, they're playing it by ear, just like the rest of us are. And, I mean, they've got some good guesses. They've got some scientific facts. But those facts could change at any moment. Remember at the beginning of this when they said, the masks don't work. They flat out said it in the beginning. The only effective mask that you can wear against this virus is the N95 mask. If you have that, you got about a 95, thus the 95 and N95. You got about a 95% chance that you're not going to get it. I don't think that's the case anymore. They don't differentiate between the N95 or the surgical mask or the cloth mask.
And now we're getting reports that the numbers show the lockdowns didn't help contain COVID-19 and opening up didn't boost it. I mean, those are the reports that are coming out now. So what have we been doing?
Destroying our economy.
Yeah.
Absolutely crushing the economy. Which, fortunately, at least as far as jobs is concerned, is coming back a little bit. What was the number on
we got hit a
late
million,
last week?
Right?
Another
1.4
million
or
something? I think 1.4 million.
So hopefully, hopefully we didn't crush it enough so it's not resilient, but it will be soon. It will
if they go back to this,
soon.
yes. It will. They could just put us out of our misery. If they do it again. 888-900-3393. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up.
Pat Gray. Only on the Blaze Radio Network. Pat Gray is here.
Driving to town. Better late than never. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. More on trivia. Debuts this week. Friday morning, 7 o'clock. More on trivia. It's back. And this time, it's piss.
We really are. I mean, we really are.
Really are this time.
In fact, we may have a person just take a knee during the whole game in the studio.
Wow.
I'm thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's not going to be me.
Okay.
I don't want to be down on my knees. They hurt too bad.
Right.
But someone.
Okay.
Someone just in the corner.
Mm-hmm. Taking a knee. It's a good idea. Just show our support.
Thank you.
For justice. We're showing our support for nothing to do with the flag or the country or patriotism or the military. Just support for justice. I get so irritated with people who say it's about the flag, even though Kaepernick said it over and over and over that it was about the flag. What does he know? He's just the instigator of the thing. He just invented it. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Speaking of BLM protests, I'm so tired of it. I'm just tired of the protest. I'm tired of people being surrounded by douchebags screaming in their face because, I don't know, you're not up there protesting with them just because you're white, probably, in many cases.
In many cases, it is because you're white.
Yeah, it is.
And in many cases, it's just because they want to protest, they want to destroy, and you as a black person are serving white people.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we have the guy we have some of the video of a McDonald's in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh was a good location the last few days.
Yeah, check this out with the black manager.
They don't care.
Being assaulted.
They don't care.
They don't care.
They're in their face. And this is going on inside of McDonald's. Now you're disrupting business. I'm sorry.
Pause it for a second. What is the chant?
I don't know.
Who bedurred? Abedurred. Hamburgers? Hamburgers.
Yes,
is that what it is?
Yes.
Cheeseburgers? Bacon cheeseburgers. Milkshakes too? Hamburgers. I don't, what is that?
Nuggets too? Yeah. Happy Meals? Yeah. That's what.
Stupid. What is that doing for you? You walk into a McDonald's and you start yelling into a bullhorn. Hamburgers, cheeseburgers. What is that doing for your cause?
Dude, you don't need a bullhorn to order. She'll take it right here. I don't know what you're...
Right, you don't have to yell about it. I'll get you a hamburger. Cheeseburger? Okay, yes. I can get you a milkshake, too, probably.
You tell me a number. I'll give you the whole thing.
Let's see the rest of this. It's brilliant.
Oh, you could take the whole thing. The whole thing is... But the manager is this black guy who's telling him, come on, get out. And look at the customers who are there. It's just the customers are like, are you kidding me?
What's that, Jeffy? I can't understand what you're saying. I'm yelling into this bullhorn too much. I want a hot apple pie. Give me a hot apple pie, please. And I'll take an order of fries. Cheese fries if you have them. And don't forget the hot apple pie. Hamburgers! Cheeseburgers!
Now the manager's in his face, and we don't need to see anymore. I mean, it's just
the same.
It goes on and on.
It's the same stuff.
It is
I can't
the same
take
stuff,
it.
and it's very difficult. Like the manager finally gets mad, And instead of staying behind the counter, and he comes out and gets in the guy's face.
Yeah, I don't blame him though.
I don't
Get
either.
Out!
It's so frustrating.
Get out. Oh.
You're scaring the other customers. The customers are there to get and actually get a hamburger.
Right.
That's what they're there for.
Or a cheeseburger.
Or a cheeseburger. Or maybe
some cheese fries or a milkshake.
We
don't know.
Buy something.
Don't know.
But they are there to order something.
We're pretty sure of that.
Yes.
And they're just trying to stop capitalism. They're trying to stop the free enterprise, the free market system that we have. They want to change it to the socialist because, it might surprise you, but as the co-founder of BLM said,
are trained Marxists.
I'm sorry, what?
Are trained Marxists.
Trained Marxists?
Are trained Marxists.
Huh. I wonder if trained Marxists might be trying to stop businesses from operating. Huh. That's interesting. It's a thought, But how are you going to win people over doing that? You're in there trying to get even if you support BLM, you're in there, you want to just get a burger and you want to be left alone and you want to have an enjoyable time with your family or your friends or whoever you're there with. And then you got this guy coming in with a bullhorn with his dumbass friends. Hamburgers! Cheeseburgers! Hamburgers!
Well, they're busy screaming. And
why is that helping?
You saw the one customer, the lady's in a wheelchair. She's sitting there like, what? She's trying to get out of the way.
Seriously. And she's scared out of her mind, probably. On I-5, I think it was, northbound I-5 in Seattle, they did a massive BLM roadblock where this time they blocked it not with just bodies, but cars, too. So there's no getting through this. And so it jams up traffic for miles and miles and miles.
How much support are you giving them doing that?
Oh, yeah. They're feeling really good about your cause now.
Right.
Thank you. You know what? I just got stuck in a BLM traffic jam for 3.5 hours. I love these people now. You know what? I'm going to send them $1,000 because that was so much fun. I enjoyed just sitting there on the freeway for 3.5 hours. You know what? I'm not racist anymore. I was racist before, but now I love all peoples. I love all peoples.
You know what else works?
What else
works? Let's say you're out with the family, or maybe you're just out with the wife, and you decide that, you know what, we can't eat inside, but we can eat outdoors. And there's a restaurant right here.
Yeah,
that's got tables set up.
Okay,
and we could stop and maybe, I don't know, get something, get a hamburger or a cheeseburger. That's not a McDonald's hamburger or cheeseburger.
Okay,
and maybe enjoy a beer or a soda or an ice water, and just enjoy the summer day outside downtown.
Yeah.
And then
that can happen.
Have a crowd come up and destroy your nice afternoon.
Now that can't happen though, right? People wouldn't do that.
Well, let's just, it could happen like, say, this is an evening in Rochester, and then there's also the day in Pittsburgh.
Oh, jeez.
These go right up into the restaurant and the eating.
And look at, everybody just gets up and leaves. They just get up and leave.
We're shutting the party down. Nobody's going to touch you. We're shutting your party down. Calm down. Calm down.
Where are the police for this?
I know.
Where are the cops?
And so we'll see the daytime one in Pittsburgh where they come up and they're hollering and yelling at the patrons, and they just come up and they start drinking.
Oh, yeah. They take their drink off the table. Yeah, here we go.
Got a bullhorn too, by the way.
Yeah.
Those are great. Those are great.
You're the embarrassment, douche. Seriously, that's embarrassing.
People are just leaving. I mean,
yeah. Yep. What else are you going to do?
And by the way, black people and white people enjoying the day.
And he's screaming at him for who knows what reason. You just want to get up and punch him in the face, but you don't.
Here we go.
Don't do it.
I just come up. I was going to drink your beer. I was going to drink your beer.
Okay, that was laced with COVID-19. Congratulations, hon. Yeah, hope you enjoy that. Did you enjoy that drink?
How much are you for them now?
Right? That's going to endear you to their cause? Absolutely not.
Yeah, I mean that's enough. I mean, you see,
I can't take it.
You're destroying the peace and harmony of a city.
Yep.
Of a city of a neighborhood. I mean, again, how much are you for them?
That makes me really want to support them.
Right.
Now that you've ruined my day, I love that. I love that. And when you cause me traffic jams in Seattle,
I know. And you see, and by the way, I don't know if you know this, African American people do drive on those interstates as well. So, I just I mean,
really?
It's not just white people,
that
they're shutting traffic down.
That's weird. But you got to be super wealthy though to have a car, right? So
you do.
Yeah,
and to drive on the interstate.
Wealthy. Yeah, you can't do that if you're middle class or poor. You can't do that. So that's a good thing they're doing. BLM. That's awesome.
I mean, it's very difficult for me if that were to happen.
I don't know.
Quiet.
It would not be good. Yeah,
and I know that you can't be, or you're not supposed.
Because they win.
You're not supposed to be.
They win if you get up in their face.
I know, but to have that person or persons screaming at you for no other reason than you're sitting at a place of business, and whether it's just through their mouth or with a bullhorn. Like, I'd like to just ram that bullhorn right down that guy's throat.
Yeah.
A quick hit of that bullhorn would take out a tooth or two, just to be clear, which I'm not opposed to doing.
I know. I feel your pain. I do. I feel your pain.
But the first thing that you do, and the outside of that, after that thought of going up,
everybody
to the
just leaves.
They
just get up and leave to avoid the whole thing.
Just get out of there as fast as you can.
Yeah, because I don't want it to escalate into violence. Right. So you'd probably do that. You'd probably just get up and go, and then they win. They win because that's what they want. They want to shut down shut down the party. They weren't having a party. They were just out to a nice meal.
Right.
But they wanted to shut down whatever enjoyment people were having, and they did. It's despicable. I'm so tired of it. Tired of COVID, tired of this BLM riot protest thing, sick and tired of it. Antifa, you read about the 20-year-old the woman who is from a wealthy family, facing 4 years in prison now after allegedly participating in a destructive 3-hour rampage. It caused an estimated $100,000 worth of damage in New York City. So with Antifa, she's running around. Here her parents are super successful. She's a student at Rice University in Houston, which is like the Ivy League of the South. It costs $70,000 a year tuition to go there. Has an acceptance rate of 11%. So she's at this elitist university, and she's smashing out windows in Manhattan. Her family has an apartment in New York. And then they also own a home in Litchfield County, Connecticut, which is a pretty nice area. And so she's there smashing windows. They caught her. I mean, what is your deal? What is your beef? You're a rich girl.
You've been given everything.
Yeah.
That's her beef. You've been giving everything, and we just have to destroy.
And Jason Liang, who is a worker at one of the damaged Starbucks, said, it's disheartening. You have the right to do whatever you want, but why do you have to hurt other people's property? No, you don't have the right to do whatever you want. You don't have a right to smash out the windows at a Starbucks. You don't have that right. But they're acting like they do have that right. And then they're acting like they can go into the business and take whatever they want. They have that right too. No, you don't.
I know. And look, we talked about how we want to, you want to fight fire with fire instead of just. But really,
not the way to go about it.
I know, and we got a little bit of lesson from that from the UFC fighter Bobby Green, who spoke. He won his fight, and then he wanted to tell people that you can't fight hate with hate, and you don't have to, but you may want to have the angel choirs prepared to push play on your little machine over there, because it's possible that the Angels could sing after this.
Dad, come here.
I was going to bring...
So we've been fighting right now in this time in our country. We're doing this whole Black Lives Matter. Everyone's fighting, everyone's looting. This is my father. I was born in foster care. I didn't have a mother or a father. They gave me away. My father wasn't fit to be my father, this is my dad here, Jacob Benny. He's been there since the beginning. He's done everything. He lays life down for me, and I lay his life down for him. I don't judge any man on the color of their skin, but the content of their character. We're here, we love. It doesn't matter what color it is. It's all about love. You can't beat hate with hate. You beat hate with love.
Right.
So everyone out there, please stop fighting. Please come together. We can't beat it that way. With love.
Now, before I ruin it, play the Angels.
Yeah. Not nice. That's great.
Okay. Can I ruin it now?
I wish you wouldn't.
All right, do your promotion.
All right, go ahead.
Well, I just want to remind people that the fighter who just got done fighting is telling people not to fight. So let me be clear that that's the message I'm getting from the fighter.
From the fighter, from the UFC fighter. Don't fight.
Don't fight. Yeah. So.
Yeah, but he fights in a nice way. And for money. So that's a little bit different than the fight that you're talking about. But
it is a lot different than the fighting he's talking about.
Yeah.
There's no question about it.
But it is it's a fun point to make that he's a UFC fighter and he's asking people not to fight.
I mean, look, you don't want none of him.
No, you don't.
I mean, Mr. Bullhorn don't want none of him. I'll tell you that.
That's for sure. And it would have been nice if he would have been near Mr. Bullhorn just to see what would have happened.
Yes, it would have been. Yes, it would.
Now, I'm not saying there would have been violence, necessarily. I mean, I don't know that for a fact. Could have been.
He would have
completely
said,
calm.
"Hey, Mr. Bullhorn,
would you mind not shouting in my ear while I'm trying to eat?
You can't fight hate with hate.
Yeah, that's right.
I love you. We all love you.
But if you don't put that bullhorn down, I'm going to jam it down your gullet. How do you feel about that?
With the side of my right foot."
Do you know that the average American has 97 points they can add to their credit score? 97 points, and they have no idea how to get them, of course. But ScoreMaster, the new credit science, can super boost your credit score. Forget raising your credit score a few points. That's weak. Doesn't do anything for you. The average ScoreMaster user raises their credit score 61 points in 20 days. 61 points. Say your credit score was in the high 500s to mid 600s when you bought your car. If you'd gone to ScoreMaster first and raised your credit score just the average 61 points our listeners get, you could have saved $9,000 on your car loan. And if you'd gone to ScoreMaster just before applying for a home loan, and you raised your score, say, that average 61 points our listeners get, you could have saved almost $100,000 over the lifetime of your loan. ScoreMaster puts you in control of your finances, not the banks. You can enroll in just minutes, and you'll see how many plus points ScoreMaster can add to your credit score. Visit scoremaster.com/Pat. Scoremaster.com/Pat.
Pat Gray.
What do you make of all of this stuff with President Trump calling the troops losers in France?
I mean, it's typical.
It is
typical.
It is
of the press to run with this
because there's no proof.
Absolutely zero.
There is no proof that he did this.
In fact, now they're trying to make it say that the proof is that he said something against the generals and the colonels and everybody at a different time at another place.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, and
well,
Trump,
they also keep citing John McCain. Well, I mean, he just didn't like John McCain. That doesn't prove anything. That he said things about John McCain. Right. He didn't like him because McCain didn't like Trump.
I was just going to say, McCain was a big believer in not liking Donald Trump.
Yeah.
So they didn't like each other. And so Donald Trump, if he doesn't like you, is going to say bad things about you. But Trump has also said that, well, yeah, I said stuff against the head of the military stuff. They want to go to war. I don't.
Right.
Okay, well, we're done.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a shame.
It is.
It's a shame that, and I don't know that I don't know that it does any good, except throw more gas on the fire of the hate Trump people. I mean, if you already hate Donald Trump,
you believe this completely.
This is just another excuse to add to your hate.
Yeah. Here's what Chuck Hagel had to say about President Trump's supposed comments.
Former Republican Senator Chuck Hagel, Secretary of Defense under President Obama and a combat veteran himself. Good morning, Secretary Hagel. You just heard those veterans I talked to here in Colorado. You are a veteran of Vietnam yourself. What's your reaction to the article?
Oh, gosh, I wonder what he'll say.
Well, thanks, Martha, and I'm glad you're doing a segment on this
Pause
this
it for a
story.
sec. Yeah, I bet you are, Chuck. Former Obama official. You're glad she brought this up?
Oh, thanks, Martha.
Yeah, thanks, Martha. I'm really glad you brought up this Trump bashing thing that nobody can prove. Appreciate that. Thank you for doing it. Right here before the election. This is great. Yeah. Let's make him into a guy who hates the military right before the election. That's a great point. Thank you, Martha. All right, let's see this.
You're doing a segment on this this story. Well, my reaction is if these comments are real.
Yeah, and you don't have any idea if they are.
Second. But if they're real,
right?
It's beneath the dignity of any commander-in-chief.
It sure
truly
is. It sure is. It sure would
despicable.
be, wouldn't it,
Now,
Chuck?
It is.
One of the
It would
points
be.
that one of the veterans made, which is a good point.
One of the points that one of the veterans.
These
Here
are
it is.
anonymous sources. But
Thank you.
Let's go back and look at Mr. Trump's words himself coming out of his own mouth, starting in 2016 with what he said about John McCain.
Okay.
And what he
Here we
continued
go.
to say about McCain.
Mm-hmm. Well,
I mean,
did
he go on, or
wasn't
is that
there
Really
more?
degraded the service of Generals Mattis and McMaster, and just recently General Kelly. The history of this president over the last 3 and 4
Did
years
he degrade
is pretty clear.
General Kelly?
That
When he left?
2018 experience when he did not go to the American military cemetery in France to recognize and honor the World War I Marines. Every other leader went. Every other leader drove. Leader of France, Germany,
since he threw that
Canada.
in there because the military
and you can
wouldn't
go
let
through
him
a
fly.
litany,
Right.
Of past things that he said from his mouth, actions that he's taken, and it corroborates really the Goldberg article in the Atlantic.
It really doesn't. No, it really doesn't, Chuck.
No, it really doesn't. There was information. I mean, that information about him not going and not the other officials drove. Yes, they did. And our officials told the president, look, we can drive over 2 hours to get there. We don't recommend it. There's no way in or out safe if something happens. And we can't fly you there. So we're not recommending it. We're not doing it. I'm sure, that happens, right? It happens.
It does happen.
Hello. Sorry.
Right.
It had nothing to do with the dishonoring the veterans.
Right.
Nothing.
And there's absolutely zero proof that he said any of these things. And the left is just taking it just like Hagel just did.
Well, I mean, if it's true.
Right, but it's not. How do you know? You can. If it's true that Biden said something like that, then that's despicable too.
Yeah.
But we've got no proof that Biden said anything like that. We could just start running with something.
There's anonymous sources.
Yeah, there are. There's a lot of anonymous sources.
Anonymous sources. So, look, I've got no proof.
There's a reason they're anonymous.
I'm not privy to any of the facts or information about the case, but I just want to say guilty.
Right. And if they can't put their name to this is too big an issue. Put your name to it. Be a stand-up person here. If you're going to accuse the president of this, back it up.
And if there actually is someone that is the actual anonymous source, if they were to back it up, they would be crushed. Right? They would be crushed because it's not true. It's not true. They got no proof of it.
Yeah, they got no proof. And the left is running with this as if they had the audio and video of it.
Yeah.
And they've been playing it every day. It's really amazing. It's really despicable.
But, well, look, if it's true, Pat.
If it's true, it's really bad. It's just not true. There's no evidence of that.
Pat Gray, only on the Blaze Radio Network.